against the wall. But you are a strong person, so baby keep moving on. Don't let nobody stop your hustle. Look up your plans and just stand tall. You will
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another video here on LAVI Program. My name is Lavender. I'm your virtual life coach, and on this channel we're manifesting realities one change at a time. Today is Self-Reflection Saturday. So today I wanted to actually kind of reflect on a worksheet. I use worksheets when I work with my personal clientele sometime for skill building in the clinical field for mental health. And so one of the worksheets that I actually have found online, I use for self-reflection interventions with these clients. And I think that it would be a great thing to present to you all as well. The name of this worksheet is called 20 Questions to Help You Grow. And it's created by Vex, V-E-X, King. And again, it's 20 questions, but I think these questions are great self-reflective questions because they kind of help you to identify not just where you are in life, on your life's path, on your career journey, on your interpersonal journey as an individual. But once you create that or understand that baseline of where you are, it can also give you like positive promotions and enhancement of self to, be proud of yourself for looking back at where you've come from, where you currently are, and the motivation to continue on where you're going. All right, so question number 1 is, how am I lying to myself? Out the gate, it becomes a crash course because that is a question that I don't think too many of us really give honesty to. As far as how we're lying to ourselves, it could be lying about the people you keep around you. It could be lying about, how you present yourself to others, or even how you feel about yourself. It could be lies as far as different types of abuse that you're allowing yourself to deal with. Not just physical, there are multiple types of abuse that people deal with and just kind of cope through every day. But I think this question can really give you a chance to address the hard things that you may not sit back and really pay attention to, you might kind of suppress. This can be one of those questions that really gets that ball rolling so that you can acknowledge how you're lying to yourself, maybe even the origin of why you're doing this, and then how to rectify that so that it doesn't negatively impact you moving forward. Question number 2, what job would I do if money didn't matter? Well, this could vary for a lot of different people. If money didn't matter, what job would you do? I think I would still be doing what I'm doing, as far as just being in the community and helping people. I mean, before I ever thought about, going to college to pursue a career and helping people, I was already doing that. It had already been considered, a pillar of my community. Anyone who knew me knew that you can come to me and, ask me for information about stuff. I didn't mind helping people research and discover information that they needed, figuring out who they needed to talk to. And I've always been a very intuitive individual. So, when individuals just appeared to have something that was going on or that appeared to be wrong, at least apparent to me, I would just inquire, not being nosy, but wanting to be of support if I could. Being that person, honestly, that I wish I probably would have had when I was going through things, especially, back in my earlier years. All right, question number 3. Am I putting less important things before my loved ones? Now, this question is important, especially if you are someone who's big on family, or, if you already have like a small, amount of people in your social circle or who you consider as loved ones or family, people you care about, people you know care about you. it's great to make sure that you're also checking in on your loved ones. I mean, even if it's a quick 10-second text, or creating a family text where everybody gets the same messages, as long as people agree with that, but, just checking in on everybody, seeing how everybody is doing. And it's great too when you get a text like that, knowing that, oh, somebody's out there thinking about me, they're caring about me, even with all the stuff that they might have going on, they care about me. So this can be something, where you are taking the time to kind of show that gratitude for the people that you do have in your circle, in your life, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed to anybody, People are here today and they could be gone tomorrow. Question number 4. What do I know that can improve my health, but I'm ignoring? Now, this is definitely a great reflective question to ask yourself because, again, if you're not caring for yourself, how are you going to be able to address all the other things that require you to do it? You're the main host. You're the main source. You are the common denominator. So, taking care of your health and all around health, not just your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, spiritual health. Making sure that you are addressing every complex layer of your individual blueprint, that you are addressing these different aspects of self-care. And I have a video that I previously did about the 6 types of self-care, if you want to check that out. All right, so number 5. Do I challenge myself to step outside of my comfort zone daily? Now, I'm sure maybe not everybody does this, but it's a great question to ask yourself. Because I feel like when you do challenge yourself to certain things that you might not commonly do, or something that might not be of your forte, perhaps, you're actually educating not only your cognitive, but your physiological aspect. You're educating it on something new. And once the brain knows something new, it's there. It creates, new connections and of electricity between one another that now have these new pathways of understanding because you've taught it something. So by challenging yourself, doing something outside of your comfort zone, if it scares you, I would still try it. Of course, have some discernment, have some common sense when it comes to making these type of decisions or life choices. But I would say things that are not a life or death situation, it could be something to make sure you challenge yourself about. See where your other strengths lie, or things you didn't even know you might actually have great skill on. You'll never know unless you try it, So be safe when trying different things. Be responsible when trying different things. However, challenge yourself to get out of that comfort zone. I honestly believe that the comfort zone is one of the main downfalls of individuals, because if we're not pushing ourselves to grow and we're only staying complacent, there's no growth in stagnation. But there is room for going backwards, reverting. So let's just not try to do that. Let's challenge ourselves to grow, challenge ourselves to be whatever our higher self is. Okay, number 6. Which people in my life are burdening me constantly? Now, I'm sure we all can point out a few people, whether it's co-workers, family members, your own children or grandchildren. I'm sure they're like top 5 that just popped off the brain right now when that question got said. But I will say, making sure that we address our social circle, how much we're doing for others, and then, addressing, are we putting that same energy into ourselves? I think that's what makes this question important. Also, when it comes to understanding, hey, I could be risking burnout because I'm doing so much. Are the individuals I'm doing so much for, are they even grateful for what I'm doing? And then also making sure that you spring clean when you need to. And that's with anybody. Spring clean when you need to. All right, number 7. Can I be myself around the people I'm closest to? A great social question to reflect on. Because if you can't be yourself, then you're limiting who you are. And I don't really think that's an aspect of like friendship or someone who's cool with you, who, wouldn't be okay with you being yourself. If that had to be restricted or limited to some way, that's just not your tribe. You just gonna have to figure out who your tribe is. Because I promise you, with somebody else out there that's gonna like every little ounce of that, and that's gonna be cool with it. Number 8. What pain or trauma from the past do I still need to heal? Now, this one could be a tough one because pain and trauma isn't something easy to always look at. And healing, it is a journey. It's not a destination. Let's make sure we keep that in mind. But I will say it is our responsibility to start that healing journey, whether it's talking to someone. For some people, it might be some type of medication that may need to be utilized, some type of support group. Excuse me, I do apologize. But taking time to feel is what's going to help you get over that hump. Because suppressing it, trying to go around it, over top of it, underneath it, it doesn't address the it. You got to go through it. And it may be difficult, but there are support systems that are out there. There are resources that are out there that are open to helping individuals. I know, because I work for one of them. I am one of those individuals. So just know that if that is something that you are ready to pursue or interested in pursuing, you can always book an appointment with me. Those details are in the description below. Or you can, maybe address your issues or your past trauma with outpatient therapy, some type of psychological clinician or professional that you could be able to speak with for long-term care. All right, number 9. Who do I take my anger out on the most? And for a lot of us, whether we want to admit it or not, the answer is going to be ourselves. A lot of us tend to blame ourselves for a lot of what we experience, what we go through, what we acquire, what we don't acquire. And so I think that it's great if we address where are we placing this anger. If it's with ourselves, let's address that. What's really the underlying issue? What is it that I really need to be addressing right now? What has me so angry? Because if I address that and I work through it and I'm actively doing things to make things improve or promote some type of improvement, well, then that anger can be alleviated because I'm doing something. I'm not just sitting in that emotional strain or whatever situation I'm going through. I'm actively doing something to make a change. Manifesting realities one change at a time. All right, y'all. Number 10. We are halfway through this thing. Number 10. In what ways am I being a bad role model to others? This is great to self-reflect on because sometimes we may, inconspicuously not know that we are being a bad role model to someone. I mean, it could be something as simple as I vape, so it could be something as simple as vaping. This is a behavior that's being seen by, kids. It's something that is frequently promoted in a lot of different things like movies, TV shows, commercials, advertisements. So sometimes we got to think about, well, what are some of the habits that we have? Some of the ways that we might even speak to one another, so our communication. And then, of course, other behaviors that we might do. And ask ourselves, who's watching us? And by being able to address if something is not a behavior or a way in which you want to be seen or depicted, then that gives you the option. This question gives you the option of taking a new stand on it, making an executive decision to say, okay, this is not something that I want to be depicted as or something that I want to continue doing. Let me change that, because you are the master of your fate. If you want to change it. Do something about it. All right. Number 11, y'all. If money didn't exist, would I still chase my dreams? I'm going to be straightforward with y'all. Hell yeah. For me, oh yes, most definitely. I would still chase my dreams. And a lot of my dreams didn't really even consist of money. So for me, the answer would definitely be yes. There are a lot of free things out here in this world. And I will say, I think that I am grateful for the journey that I have had in life, because not being well off gave me an opportunity to see what else life had to offer outside of what money could pay for or some type of currency could pay for. There's a lot of free things out there that's fun that you can do either solo or with a group of people. And trust me, we made the best of it. I'm an 86 baby. So my crew, we made the best of it. But all right, next, number 12. Do I treat others how I wish to be treated? Great self-reflection question. Because again, if you know you wouldn't want somebody to approach you or say something or do something to you in a manner in which you've done to someone else, yeah, time to check that. Because then when somebody else checks you, you're going to have a whole attitude. You know, it's what's going to come with that territory. So check yourself first. You're an adult. You're responsible. And even if you're not an adult who's watching this video, you are responsible for your own actions and choices. If they are not effective in your growth and they are not beneficial to you in any way, then change them. But that's still up to you to do that or not. Again, that goes for any age. You are responsible for yourself and your own actions. No one is coming to save you. Now, I will say, if you're under the age of 18, you got some safety net there because you got some type of guardian parental stance that's there to provide, support, protect. But again, it's great to learn how to do that earlier on your own. So that way you can easily transition from adolescency to adulthood, being responsible, having and developing that common sense and some discernment. So that way it can be utilized for you to make sure that you are frequently reflecting on yourself. It becomes habitual, some type of healthy pattern where you're checking yourself and you're making any type of revisions along the way as you need or see fit. All right. Number 13, how do I not practice what I preach? I'm sure at some point everybody does this. You know, I teach and preach about a healthy lifestyle and, you know, how to cope with hardship and things of that matter. But at the end of the day, I'm still human too. Might I panic first before I finally am able to calm down, get my gears rolling and really, you know, get things aligned so I can get through whatever it is that's going on? Yeah, I probably panic first more than anything. Even though I'm sitting here telling my next client, hey, don't panic, chill out, take a moment, feel it, work through it, you know, but that panic still might occur initially. You know, it's a natural response. So remember that you're human first, but at the same time, after acknowledging that, understand that the makeup and what you present yourself as becomes your responsibility. The human itself is the shell. How you feel that shell, how you present that shell, and how that shell interacts with other shells, it's all on you, boo-boo. All right, so number 14, do I make enough time for myself? So again, self-care. You know, actually, I get it. It can be a lot juggling family, work. If you take care of ailing, you know, family members or children or someone who may be, you know, disabled. So if you're a caretaker to someone or like, you know, you got so many things piling up. You got homework, you got dinner, you got maybe your own work if you're in continuing education, you know, you got so much stuff that can be compiled within a 24-hour, not even thinking about the entire week itself, but within a 24-hour window. You know, that sometimes you do forget about yourself. Sometimes you forget about what you needed. I mean, of course, you might eat. Some people don't. You know, you might, of course, definitely address hygiene. Again, some people are skipping out on it. It's just the truth of reality. It's what's happening out here. But you got to take that time to make sure you're addressing you. Because, again, if you do not address you, how are you going to address all the other things that are your responsibility, your obligation, and are expected for you to be able to address? If you are the common denominator, but you're taken out of the equation, tell me what happens to the rest of the stuff. Exactly. Moving on. Number 14. No, sorry, we just did number 14. Number 15. What is the proudest moment in my life? This is great to think about. This is great to reflect on. because thinking about proud moments can help you to dissipate and annihilate any type of negative self-perception or self-talk that you may be going through, because life be lifing out here. And sometimes in those moments, it's hard to perk yourself back up. So when you can take memories of achievements that you've had, things that are your proudest moments, it can be a source of almost kind of like that extra pinch of dopamine or reward system in the brain. It's like, okay, you know what? But I did that though. This might be feeling like it's ready to crumble, but I did that. And I'm proud of myself for it. So making sure that you reflect on those proudest moments can definitely counteract and reframe any type of negative perception that you may be having, whether about yourself, others, circumstances, or the world around you. Number 16. Who do I need to make peace with? Now, this question might be hard for some people because it depends on who you might be in confliction with. We can't guarantee that you'll make peace with someone. So let me just say that out the gate. Now, you can definitely sit back and reflect on who it might be that you need to make peace with. But at the same time, we can't force others to want to settle or squash any type of things that may have occurred. But you are responsible and you are in control of forgiveness, because the forgiveness helps you. It isn't necessarily so much about the other person. When you forgive, you get that weight up off yourself. So even if this other individual does not want to make peace with you for whatever reason that has created this moment of needing to make peace with this individual, you can still forgive them. And then forgive yourself if you played an active role in it. Forgive yourself, forgive them, and do something different, because real apologies, real change comes in you making an active effort, changing the behavior, not just what your words say, but what you do. And doing so with conviction, letting it be known that, okay, I wasn't cool with that. I'm going to do something different. And actually doing it, standing on it. What the young kids say, 10 toes down, standing on business. Yeah, we ain't doing that no more here. But yeah, that thing, that statement. All right, so number 17. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed am I to my goals? For me, I'm definitely say I'm a 10. But think about it. What goals do you have? Short-term goals, long-term goals, goals for yourself, goals for your future, your career, your health, your experiences in life, whatever those goals are. Think about it. How committed have I been to it? Because we can always talk about a dream, but a dream will never become reality until you actually do it. Again, action, movement, doing something about it. Not just talking out the side of your neck. Getting it done. All right. Number 18. What tasks do I do half-heartedly? Now, this is, again, another way to check yourself, and just being honest with yourself, being real with yourself. What is it that I'm not really doing to the degree or level in which I know I can really do it? And is that hurting me in some way? Because then that gives you the space and opportunity to correct it. Number 19, what new habits do I need to form, and why have I not started? So, this one could all depend on where you're at in your life too, when it comes to new habits that you might need to form. But it's a great question, again, just to see what you can do as self-improvement, self-enhancement, growth moving forward. And lastly, y'all, number 20, what would my perfect life look like? This is actually a common question that I ask my clients when I work with them, because it helps me know where we're going. Because without a destination, how we planning a route to get there? How we know where we're going? How do we know if the steps that we're taking are even effective if we don't even know what the destination is? I can't go somewhere that's 3 miles down the street, but I don't even know what that somewhere is that I want. I want to go get some food, but yet I don't know where I want to go get the food. So I'm probably driving all through town, wasting resources, wasting gas, wasting energy, wasting time that I can't get back. You know, so let's not do that with ourselves. No, we are living on limited time. Limited time. We don't know when the time is going to run out for any one of us. So with that being said, let's think about, what would my perfect life look like? And try your damnness to put in effort to get there. Don't stomp on nobody's toes to get there. Don't throw people up under the bus to get there. No, do the work. Build yourself up. Because anybody can get something once. But can you keep it? One way to learn how to keep it and be able to be more potentially able to keep it is by making sure you do the internal work so that that foundation is already concrete, is solid. So when you build on top of it, the things don't shatter and crumble because of the weight. It is insane, in my opinion, to want to build something on shaky foundation, because anything you build on that shaky foundation, it will crumble when that foundation cracks. It don't matter how long it's been there. And it's going to be like all that hard work done in vain. So let's make sure that we understanding or at least having some type of idea of where we're trying to go in life, so we can create that plan, that route on how to get there, and what we might need to do, who we need to talk to, what we need to avoid. You know what I'm saying? To get there. Is there a detour that might pop up? Is there challenges or barriers that I might go through when it comes to accomplishing these steps to get to where I want to go? We can't answer none of them questions if we don't know where we want to go. So step 1, figure out the destination. Where are you trying to go? What does that look like? All right, y'all. So these were the 20 questions to help you grow by Vex King. Again, a worksheet that I got offline. If you all want a copy of that worksheet for yourself, you can definitely go to Google, type that in, 20 questions to help you grow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's already as a PDF. And you should be able to pop up on this worksheet and you'll see these questions that we just went over so that you can have them for your own personal record. All right, y'all. Well, again, thank you for joining me on this video. I hope that you all actually take the time to do the work, because that's the only way that improvements are going to be able to come about. Again, if you need a more personable, conversation or session with me, you can book sessions. The booking information is in the description below. Follow, like, comment, share. You can find LAVI Program on Facebook under Lasting Autonomy and Valued Individuals Program. You can find us on Instagram, LAVI_program, and email and all that stuff is also in the description box. I also put a Cash App donation thing down there. If you want to give donations, you do not have to. You are not obligated. But I look forward to working with you all. And I hope that you take the time to address and reflect on self. Because again, you are the common denominator. You are what keeps all of that together that you're trying to keep together. And just stick to what's within your control. But you have to take care of you in order to even take care of those things. So let's start on loving you today. All right? All right, y'all. Take care.